To me, the open question that begs, not necessarily today, but soon and unavoidably, I think South Korea will be forced to ask itself, at what point does the U.S. guarantee of extended deterrence, however that's defined, cease to be enough? And at what point must South Korea, for its own good, find it absolutely essential to hedge in the only way possible, namely by creating, owning, and operationalizing its own sovereign strategic deterrent? I think with Japan facing many of these same issues, now asking itself the same question, the leadership in Seoul is rightly focused on the inevitability of such a question. Can Japan, facing a China that is determined to dominate Asia, not to mention a North Korea that threatens it on a daily basis, remain in what I'll call the nuclear bullpen, satisfied to warm up and not take the field by building its own sovereign strategic deterrent? This is a related question that bumps up hard against the historical relationship between the people of Korea and Japan. Question that begs here is, should Japan make a decision on its own, for its own good, to undertake its own deterrent? The South Koreans, I believe, would absolutely have no choice but to follow suit. So I guess the core lessons that we may learn from our earlier brush with a potentially nuclear South Korea was the encounter forced us to think about and realize that everything in Northeast Asia would change, and not for the good, if Seoul determines it must go its own way. But this time, South Korea may elect to do so for its own reasons. And these may be reasons, I think, that'll be difficult to refute. Reasons with which the United States perhaps is no longer inclined to argue. For the United States, so long involved in and committed to managing the peace of Northeast Asia, and mostly successful for so long in doing so, these same questions beg. And I'm saying if not today or tomorrow, then certainly within this decade, these decisions will be made and we'll have to deal with them. As always, hope is not a plan.